we've seen so far that calling resources movies, we generate a bunch of routes in a Rails app. These routes allow us to map a URL to a specific resource. What's going to happen within our Rails app? So right now, we have a Rails app that works. We haven't looked at any of the interesting code yet that does this work. But when we create a route, Rails allows us to write code, in this case, a function like form4, which takes in a path, in this case, movies, with some ID. And Rails allows us to do things like generate an HTML form with some particular syntax. Notably, this one, the method is post. We'll talk about the particular methods. We can ask Rails to generate a form with a different method by default, in this case, method put. And what Rails is going to do when we generate forms in our application is it's going to provide in HTML parameters that get sent to the server. So in Chips chapter 3, you should have seen that when we create a form in HTML, right, we have various input elements on our web page that will go from a form action to the server. Rails provides structured ways of creating additional inputs. So in this case, throughout we'll see a new type of input, a hidden input that provides metadata essentially to the server, and that will arrive with the request. Rails also will then allow us to write things like link to edit. This is going to generate an HTML link with the text edit at a particular URL. What is that URL? In this case, movie path, or excuse me, edit movie path for a particular movie. And notice here how each of these actions follows a similar structure. If we're making a form, we have a path to that resource with a particular ID. In this case, if we look here, we have movie path. This corresponds to the route, which is as movie. Without the path, we make a link. We have edit movie path, which corresponds to the route that will show us the edit page or as edit movie. And Rails here, because we can call all of these methods in a couple different ways, when we specify them in our routes file, we don't write underscore path. There's a few different ways that they get generated. We can, of course, use a method called movies path, and that would correspond to the route labeled as movies. Again, here the pluralization matters. Movies with a plural corresponds to an index because there's hopefully more than one movie on that page. Routes that are movie singular suggest that we're dealing with an individual movie at a time. And so the next up, we'll demo how routing actually works.